I don't like this. I don't like this. Guys, stay still. Guys, stay still. Guys, stay still. Ah! Oh, the soundtrack. The soundtrack. It's so good. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new year, but most importantly, welcome back to SCP Pandemic, which is no longer SCP Pandemic, despite the fact that the logo in the top corner says it is, because it has rebranded to SCP-5K. Either way, you're in for an absolute treat today, because there are seriously just so many updates that have gone on since we last played this game. We've got new SCPs, new physical SCPs, new environmental SCPs, just like a huge list of bug fixes, new guns, new kind of like weight systems, optic systems. Like, it is nuts. There is a lot to cover in this one. So I'm going to dive into some gameplay. I'm just going to play through the campaign, and I hope to explain basically all of the things that's kind of going on with this game, and hopefully we can cover it all. So let's have a look. I know where you live. I'm sure you do. And we're back. It's been so long. And how things have changed. I'm ready. So I guess the first thing to cover is the name change. They've gone from SCP Pandemic to SCP-5K. SCP-5K obviously being based on SCP-5000, which kind of gives you a bit of an idea of where they're trying to go with this. So now, well, whereas before, they had this kind of game. It was around the SCP-5 universe or 5000 universe, but it wasn't really kind of like focused on it as such. It was more focused on kind of this Psi-Z program that's going on and a very small piece of the overall puzzle. But now that you've seen, well, hopefully you'll see today that there are kind of like new SCPs that are being added, and they're all kind of like scattered throughout the facility. It gives you the idea that they're no longer focusing on specifically the Psi-Z program and a bit more on the wider events of SCP-5000. So we have here 451 or 0451. Oops. Hopefully that's not important. I don't think he's going to be needing it anymore. There we go. 0451. Remember that. 0451. All these helpful prompts as well. How to jump, how to use key cards and whatnot. Power switches come in various shapes and sizes. Figure out what they unlock. Yes. Ah, so as before, or in the early versions of this game, this fence wasn't here. You just walked through, pushed the power switch, and the door opened. Now you've got a little bit of a kind of like tutorial system. You do a bit of crouching, a bit of flashlighting. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty neat. Kind of nervous, though, because I still don't know what we're going to face. There's going to be, obviously, tons and tons of zombies running at us, which I'm completely unprepared for. But it's the other ones as well that I'm a little bit nervous about. I guess all good things in time. So, despite the fact that this game is now going to be focusing kind of like on the wider events of SCP-5000, you'll know that the original story kind of revolves around one character in particular, this Pietro Wilson, the guy who finds the suit and makes his way around kind of the events of it and records all that happens during those scenarios. This game is going to try to stay away from that and focus on kind of the environmental side of it. So as Pietro's going around, he mentions about all the different facilities, how they're struggling. Can I open this? Aha. Bingo. Oh god, we've got this magazine system as well. Yeah, so this game is going to be more focused on kind of like what the world is experiencing while Pietro's going about doing his mission of, quote, saving humanity. Which I think is pretty cool. That's a good direction to take. I like that they're not going to focus on the document as such, which gives them a lot of freedom in terms of how they work with things. And it also kind of like avoids any mistakes that might happen at some point that would conflict with it, which could all too easily happen with their own artistic interpretations taking over. So this gives them that freedom. And it's going to allow them to introduce all sorts of new anomalies that necessarily aren't, or they're not necessarily mentioned in the SCP-5000 document, but that would have been released when the Foundation kind of turned against humanity. So if I remember, this used to be, yeah, here we go, I remember this. With all the zombies. Let's just let them in. What's the worst that can happen? This is meant to be a hardcore tactical shooter or whatnot. It's going to be great. I'm excited already. Look, here they come. Oh god, here they come. Let's find a doorway. Left or right, take your guess. Hi. Oh god, aim training. reactions are... Oh, man. Okay, not too bad, though. You can avoid being hit, I think that's the main thing. You get 3 lives in this game, so if we ever get hit or killed 3 times, then we have to start again. Power the double blast doors to proceed. Search the plumbing facility to the west and the maintenance area to the east. So this is all kind of relatively similar to what we've seen before in part 2 of our update series. Nice. Ooh, this kind of feels a bit new, though. Despite the fact that it's kind of the same in terms of walking around and whatnot, and the objectives that you have to do, I think they've definitely made some environmental improvements. I know that there's meant to be a huge kind of like Area 12 rework coming out at some point. I'm not sure whether this is what we're experiencing right now, or whether that is planned for the future. They said that it was going to be planned for late 2022, if not early 2023. So we might see it soon, or they might be now focusing on other things. There's a lot of patch notes. It gets very hazy at times. But in terms of the other patch notes, they basically put out like a double part 1, part 2 video series that kind of explained everything they wanted to do with the game. I'm going to follow this box, actually. I think that's probably the smartest thing I've done all episode. Into maintenance. Okay. We were just here. And we need another code. Some codes require you to seek them out. Try searching the main unloading area and its immediate surroundings. But yeah, in terms of updates, they put out those 2 videos, and the first one was kind of like explaining the fact that they wanted to add more SCPs, and they've kind of like followed up with that by putting out this update currently, which has, I think, 3 new SCPs. We've got the Psi-Z Resonator, which I'm looking forward to coming across at some point. It's kind of like this 4-legged zombie dog type entity. I'm just running in circles. And then there is... Oh, jeez, what happened in here? Oh! You got me. And then there is SCP-1262, which I believe is more of an environmental SCP. In the video, they mentioned that there was about 3 kind of like environmental spore plant-like SCPs that are going to be thrown around the map and have their own kind of like unique areas and whatnot. But I only think one of them is implemented at the moment, which is this SCP-1262. Kind of like a mushroom. Hopefully we see it soon. Hi. Oh, you guys are tankier. Let me through! Or I'm just missing my headshots. Oh yeah, missing the headshots. Makes sense. And then the other one is SCP-089 or 098, one of the 2. It's a crab-like SCP. And it looks horrific. They were mentioning, they're kind of like talking about how it was coded and whatnot. It's got like these procedural legs that kind of interact with the world around it as it moves its way towards you. It's very creepy. And they're definitely trying to side a bit more on the horror aspects of it as well, which is nice to see. Some more spooks and scares to come, which I'm certainly looking forward to. Kind of like sets it apart from a game like Modern Warfare or whatnot. Oh, I can just like leap through this. Awesome. There are a few more SCPs that were kind of like teased out as well. We've got SCP-3999, I think, which is kind of the bird-like entity. If anyone's watched SCP Fragmented Minds, it's kind of like this fat pigeon bird thing. And there's variations of that all the way from kind of like a young hatchling up to kind of like the adult-sized version. I went around the entire map looking for that power box, and all I could have done is look to the left of the door and I'd have been fine. I thought that was one of the Psi-Z things there. You looked buff from over the side there. But all of the extras that they've announced so far, they've kind of put like a little disclaimer on it, you could say, that's kind of like, we are implementing them, we're looking at putting them into the world, but if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't match what we're looking for this game, then we won't add it into the game. So it's just like something you can look on Steam, you can see all of the different versions of the SCPs and stuff that they want to add. And yeah, you can kind of get like hyped about each one. I don't see why there isn't a reason each one would be added, but it depends on the aim that they're looking for. Oh god. It's not a headshot, you really need to just go hard on that. Button! Uh-oh. Well, that's one of the buttons we needed, so that's always good. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Oh, there's a few of you. Oh, I'm out. Oh, no, no, no. Staying alive, staying alive. The second video then that came out was more about the hardcore shooter side of things, talking about where they want to take the realism of the guns and what they want to kind of like adjust there. And it seems like the plan with that is mainly to make the guns as realistic as possible. I mean, we already had the night vision debate on the first episode, so that's all kind of like focused on that realistic style. But now they're trying to add like proper gun weight. They might even already have the proper gun weight here at the moment. You can see the way that the gun kind of like sways in your hand if you sprint and then go to aim. You have to kind of like... Your character positions his arms up in a way that the gun feels realistic. It feels realistic to what the gun would be like in that scenario, which is very cool. And there's a lot of kind of like sway when you walk and the way that the gun wobbles in your hands. It's all very, very cool. Small details like that make the game incredibly realistic. It's still like a little bit too small. That's odd. Running around the facility, have a happy holiday. Have I gone down here? Oh, probably not. This looks newish. Oh, here we go. 0072. It was in the Pepsi corner all along. Okay. 0072. 0072. Yay! We did it! And there's the button. That one's quite nice. Probably should look though, because there's always going to be zombies. Oh! Was not expecting those to be so close. Where the hell did you come from? Here? Is this just a garage full of them? Who locked them in here? What? Dick move. So that has now opened our final door over here. And we can move on. Get closer to Area 12. So in addition to things like the gun weight and the way that it feels in your hand and the bob and whatnot, there's things like the optics. There was a big section on the optics. Not so noticeable with something like an iron sights, but if we get a scope on it, which we've found some workbenches here, so, you know, that's probably going to happen soon. Oh, see the way the gun sways? Kind of throws off your aim sometimes if you haven't got good gun control. But here we go. So if we do some customization, and I make sure to add a sight, something a bit more chunkier, so you can see how that works. Maybe something like this. A bit larger than that. I think this is more for the hunt game mode when you've got the huge scopes on that are more like this. Yeah, there you go, look. You've got kind of like the black borders of that scope. That's very realistic to if you were actually using a scope in real life. The way that the kind of like sight aims and wobbles. And the kind of like vignette around that. Oh, that's awesome, look at that. And as I'm walking up and down stairs, you've got the bob on it. Okay, that's actually really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So if I remember rightly, the rest of this map is going to be largely the same as what you've seen before. So I'm probably going to jump ahead a little bit, unless we happen to see any new enemies or environments. Hey, looks like they might have actually cleared some of them out. Can you tell if they're moving? It kind of looks like they're moving. Oh, balls. Oh, you're going to hear me as well. This is why you put the suppressors on. Oh, I think they know. I think they already know. Oh, please die. I've got to deal with the dogs. Oh, God. Die. Look at this thing. Oh, God. Can I, like, get your leg down a little bit? Move it back a little bit? No, guess not. They've got that Stranger Things face. Damn. These guys are cool. In their little update video, they mentioned that they're working with a new company for the animations of some of these. Not exactly sure of the company's name, but I know that they've worked in the Warhammer 40k kind of like scene before. And some of the animations that were shown were really, really cool. We didn't get to see too many of those because it kind of ran at us pretty quick, but definitely some of the idle animations and stuff look really, really nice. It's kind of like on par with what you would see from Fragmented Minds. Is there meds in here? Could have done with some meds. Honestly, not liking the P90. Let's go back to the UMP. Access code 5508. 5508, and then I'm not allowed to get hit once. Cool. Running! Running! There was something about that one that just looked weird. The way that it stood there. Oh no, you've got to be kidding me. Whew! That had momentum. Please stay still. Whoa, what's this side running? No! That was crazy. I don't know if that was an error in pathing or they're generally coded to avoid some things, but that was pretty cool. Oh. 5, 8, 3, 6. Yep, nothing particularly new there. Oops. Yep. Oh. I could get away with it. Oh boy! And this must be our new plant life. Oh yeah, and there's you as well. I love seeing you. Does your head still follow us? Oh yeah, it does. Instance B. Horrific. There's a plant behind me as well. I don't know if it's a spiky plant or a nice plant. Okay, I think I can get across there. I'm not going to tempt fate anymore. A little hop here. Whoa, look at it though. That's really cool. Ooh. Still over there, right? No. Stay there. I've got to go through this other room now, so you enjoy being there. And I'm going to enjoy being anywhere but here. I'm curious to see where that plant goes, all the way over there. Please tell me I can open doors without looking at them. Good. It's surrounded somewhere, there it is. Am I safe? Ooh, I hope so. Yeah, I'm gonna assume I'm safe. Right, so this is nothing new as well. Ouch. Gotta get the 3 valves, and then we can move on. I remember being in here before. Yep. That's what I remember. Dude. Please, relax yourself. Oh god, can I even go through her? Where did you go? No! Oh! Okay. I'll go the long way. Oh! Oh, did you see as we walked around the pillar? Oh god! That is creepily realistic and I hate it. Okay. I'll go this way. I'll go this way. Oh! Oh! Okay, there's a valve. That's all we need. Got one. Other one's downstairs. Oh! I was not expecting the speed! I should have done, really. No! 1 life down! Not good. Okay, so most of that was the same. So I've cleared it. And now we're off to Area 12. Drop down into the waterway. Trust me, it's safe. I trust you, but I don't trust this. This thing's clearly been feeding off of the water supply. Growing nice and big and healthy, but the question is... where's the main section of it? That just feels like one little route. This again is probably largely the same. We might even get to the bit where we died last time, so... I'll keep jumping ahead. And, you know, I'll let you know where the new stuff is. There's a power box here. Which opens... oh my god, there they are! Oh! These are horrific! And the zombies too? Go their way! No! They're coming up the car! No! I don't like this. I don't like this. Guys, stay still. Guys, stay still. Guys, stay still. Ah! No! I hate them. I hate them so much. They're disgustingly spider-like. Oh my god, please die. Look at them, they're just waiting there. There's one behind that door too. Ah! Ah! Stuff of nightmares. Look at the teeth. Well, they're not teeth, they're like little filter things. There's one in the bundle there somewhere. Are you okay? Can I get you dead, please? All the bodies are protecting it. I think I got it. I think? Yeah. Just one over there. Oh, do we even want to open this door? I don't even know if I want to look at it. I think I can switch this to get all my ammo back there. So that's nice. Are you ready? Oh. Oh. Look at this amalgamation of legs and people. It's like when day breaks. Ugh. I've discovered a new fear. Spider crabs. Although spider crabs were always creepy, actually. There's nothing new. Should be able to just blat this one through the door if I'm lucky. That looks pretty dead to me. What a horrible sight, though. Oh, sticking through the doors. Hello. Oh, let's close it again. Gonna do that. Open it again. Horrible. Alright, I'm coming through. Don't eat me. Even in death, I'm scared. Well, now that I know that there's those things, I feel sick, frankly. Are you also stuck in the door? That would be great to know. Kind of interested to see how quick you are when you come at someone. Quick enough. Quick enough, for sure. It's not like a mega sprint though, which is always nice to see. But it could definitely creep up on you when you're not looking. And that's scarier than anything in the world. Whoa. And now for something completely different. So these are the SCP-1262 instances. I haven't read up on either of these SCPs, but that is stunning. Really awesome. I feel like this is a spore-like entity. Ooh, with that heartbeat noise as well. Oh look, one in the mesh. This is super cool. Kind of reminds me of Half-Life Alyx with all the alien plant life. God, jeez. Forgot about that bit. I was too immersed in the plants. I think they're shooting at me. They're just really crazy. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and find a scope. There's a workbench not too far back. I'm going to go and get the scope. There's no way I'm tackling that without it. Die! Running! Any more? Oh! Get slaughtered. There's nothing you can do about it. We clear? We're clear. So I'm about to do a raid on Area 12. Taking a lot of damage, but still going on Life 2. Just want to mention a few of the other things that were updated to the game, which is mostly like just tons and tons of bug fixes and updates to the animations. And I think we've seen a few updates to animations here and there. Oh, thank God, the meds. Especially with things like, well, the new creatures for certain, but I think there was some animations updates to both the zombies and the MTF units with how they handle their guns and how they run at you and all that sort of stuff. And I have certainly got that impression from playing through to this point. That's really cool to see. And in my hand I have a new gun, so that's exciting. The Trevor X95. This one feels quite reliable, to be honest. For sure. This feels new. This feels very new. An entrance wing like this? Another one of these machines. I have to interact. Oh! That was an awful idea. Yeah. So Area 12's changed. Interesting. I'm going to the memorial. Whoa. I can only assume this is just a list of developers, supporters. Yeah, there's no way Mr. Yeeter died in real life. There's a lot of people on this, though. Whoa. This is crazy. It's kind of like a side room that you don't necessarily have to go to if you don't want to, but at the same time, it's got a really nice feel to it as well. Anyone seen James Bond, No Time to Die? I feel like the facility at the end is very reminiscent of this. Kind of like that shiny, water-based floor type look about it. Pretty cool. So then we got this. And this looks terrifying. Oh, so many more plants, though. It's actually the same old room that it was before, but it just looks so much different. You know, when we played SCP Ground Zero, and it took the elements of SCP Containment Breach and added plant life to them, which really brought the whole environment to life. This has a very similar feel to it. Obviously, they're using their own assets and just reworking it in that way, but you know, just adding green to anything kind of helps a thing to pop. Ooh, some text over there. No gameplay here yet, lots of work underway. This area will have a unique enemy that can travel between screens. Explore if you want to see what we're working on so far. Oh, so we can go through. Ah. An enemy that can travel between screens. You mean like these? Or you mean player screens? Because that would be awful, you know, seen on player 1 screen, then player 2 screen. We can at least explore what they're working on. Have a little see. There's one of the SCPs from SCP Blackout that only appears in Windows. I wonder if this will be a similar thing. With that one, it was a bit more like you weren't allowed to look at it. If you looked at it for too long, it would be like a Slenderman effect where you'd eventually die from looking at it too long. But for this one, maybe it's more of an entity that is a bit more 106-y. It physically comes and attacks you, but if it needs to go and hide, if it needs to run away, it can, you know, use the screens to get around. Or maybe use them to sneak up on you, more of like an assassin type. Here's some more screens, though. Oh, the screening rooms. Ah, you're not gonna let me through. We can at least look. Ooh. Okay. There's all those screens on the left there. Some of the ones that we saw when we walked in. Those like mirror type things. Oh, we can go into the presentation room. Yeah, like these. These are kind of like digital billboards. So you could have like adverts and stuff on them. Or this entity might use them to travel around. That's a cool concept. What is going to be in here? Presentation room. Are we going to get an actual movie while I'm here? So many awesome environments now. When we first started, it was very much kind of like, in a similar way to how Fragmented Minds has started, where it's all just kind of like basic storage rooms and... Ooh. Sneaky secret here. As we continue, or as the developers continue to build upon their game, we're getting more and more detailed environments, more unique environments. This is an awesome lecture theatre. Oh, we can go through here? There's another one! Ah. So I wonder if this entity can use the cinema screens as well. These are more projections, so I doubt it. Hear a noise? We've got that like liminal space feel now, actually. The fact that we know that the area is empty. There's something cursed about that, actually. You know, unfinished games. Like maps that were generated but never had any entity in it. There is something inherently spooky about that. Again, lines of screens here. Wow. Yeah, this is creepy. Just nothing here. No one or anything. Us, the echoey footsteps. And the empty halls. Presentation room 3. This one's got one of the side balconies. Oh, this one's fancy. I'm loving the presentation rooms. What's this? A weird artifact. You've got a key code here? What? I think this looks like it's in progress. I don't think we're actually going to find anything. Ooh. Even something like this, just like an unfinished body in the corner of the world. Like the fact that they have real bodies. They've put them all around the map. Why do we need a white one? It's probably more just that they didn't want to make the textures too hard to render, so they just shoved in like a potato person. Is this the way we came? Doesn't feel like it. At all, really. No. This isn't right. This is just anywhere. Please, oh, no, open! I'm stuck here forever! Oh, this is probably the way back. This feels like the way back. Oh, we've made it. Oh. Oh. Home. And my god, is it beautiful. That is a stunning view. Okay, I need to go play the game now. No, I missed! No! That perfect headshot! Do you see that? I went down in one bullet. Jeez. That's why I've taken so long. You have to be... No! That's unfair! I think he's done. I think he's over. Damn it. Now I've only got... Oh, God. What else just opened? They can't. Surely not. Locate the nuclear reactor. That's where I got to last time. If we can get to the nuclear reactor, I'll call it a win that I got just a tiny bit further than last time. Whew. And we are making it to the reactor. We're on 1 life again, so we're pretty much in the same spot as we was last episode. Although we did get to see some new goodies, so... It's not the end of the world. I don't want to go out there. Oh god, okay. Oh no, there's a lot. I kind of want to save them. Someone's dropping bullets on my head as well from up there. Go get them. Go get the MTFs. You know what? I'll back out so that you can go and fight the others. I want you to go kill the people with guns because they're the ones that actually hurt. You hear that? They're thinning out. I think. Sounds like there's still people walking around, but I think I've fixed this door situation. Oh yeah, that looks fixed to me. Look at them. They're like, come here. Let me feel you. Ooh, they've stopped. Did you kill all the others? Did you do it? The reactor room. Sweet. Okay. So now I can finally start talking about SCP-5000, which was the other thing I wanted to talk about. So I think from the last time, or I guess when I first started this series, I had a very kind of basic understanding of SCP-5000. And I've been doing a lot more kind of like reading on the subject, understanding of the subject. There's people with guns up there. I thought you killed them. And it has, well, SCP-5000 has quickly become one of, if not my favorite SCP. At least in the top 3, for sure. I think like the level of detail and kind of like the merging of all of the SCPs into one is really fantastic. You know, like in English, when you kind of like analyze a piece of Shakespeare's work and you're sat there and you're thinking, do we really need to do this? Like, did he really think when he wrote it, like all of these things? Well, when I read the SCP-5000 document and I just shout over the bullets here, you really do think that the person thought of all of these things when they wrote them. It's very clever. The fact that it merges all the other SCPs together really creates it as like, you know, if SCP had a story to tell, or if there was a book written that integrated all the SCPs together, I think SCP-5000 is a fantastic tale of that. The fact that they put all of that into like one little document is really impressive, because you could write an entire book out of it, exploring all the SCPs and the concept of of SCP-5000 and the directives changing and like explore why that happened. There's so much to have there, so much material. It's really cool. Oh. So there are some zombies left. Somehow. Are they on the roof? Oh, that would have helped a million times ago if I'd have just turned the flashlight on. Oh yeah. That felt good. La 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 la. Don't kill me. I'm just here to live. And I guess the other thing that I wanted to say is that the beauty of SCP-5000 is that it has so many interpretations. There's clearly the one that the author intended, but you can go on like Reddit, you can watch videos of people trying to explain it, and everyone has their own different kind of understanding of what the SCP, of what the tale means to them, of what the theory about why the Foundation turned, about some of the things that they encounter along their journey, what all of that means, and that's really, really cool. And that's like one of the beauties about the SCP universe in general, right? There's, I think, literally on the front page somewhere where it introduces the SCP, it says that the lore is what you decide it to be. There's no canon in the SCP universe. It's basically what you interpret or what you accept is what is truth to you. And that's really awesome. That's horrible. I'd say for me, the truth behind SCP-5000 goes to the video created by SCP Illustrated. Really, really awesome YouTuber. Does a lot of like true to lore videos recreating some of the SCP documents with some really impressive artwork and voice acting. And he did like an hour's video on the SCP-5000 series, like going through the tale and then doing a bit of a summary about what he believes the story to mean. And I'm not going to credit him entirely for it because he did take some of the, or most of the information from a guy on Reddit. So if you want to trace back the path, it goes back to him. Sounds like Yoshi without the H. That's how I remember it. So it's Yoshi, a guy called Yoshi, I think, on Reddit was the one who came up with the story. But it's really, really cool. And if you've seen the video, or if you know all about SCP-5000, then I'd recommend at least going to the video and then simply going to the end. There's timestamps throughout, and at the end there's maybe like a 20-minute section on kind of like SCP-5000 explained. And it just goes into such perfect detail, and it makes sense in your head about why everything is happening and what people feel about it. And that's really cool. So last time we got here, I got shotgunned. And that was a major issue. This time I refused to get shotgunned. But I do remember that I needed a bigger scope to deal with the people that are going to be littered all around the balconies. So I'm going to go and do that again. So I guess while we're at it, I may as well explain some of the theory. I'll do a bit of a summary. But basically, the SCP Foundation some time ago were working on a project called Project Kaleidoscope, which was essentially a mass amnestic program. They were kind of like playing with mind control for whatever reason. And in order to do that, they had to look at the human psychospace, which is kind of like this theory that all humans get their emotions and their instincts and everything that kind of like makes you a human, that makes you sentient. They get it from this one plane of existence, a collective unconscious. And so the SCP Foundation mapped that out for Project Kaleidoscope, but in a similar project that came later, known as Project Numa, they were mapping it out and discovered that there are parts of that psychospace that aren't human. I'm going to just walk in here and get shot at. This is ridiculous. I'm terrified of being shot. Okay, this feels safe. Not safer. Not safer. Ready? Can't see anything with this giant sight on my screen. There we go. Become the friends. God, they're everywhere. Reload. Oh! They're behind me as well, I think. Shut that. Oh, God. Okay, let's focus on story time. There's a part of that human psychospace that isn't human and is instead being controlled by an SCP entity. And this entity is responsible for feelings such as pain and empathy and all the other good stuff that we aren't, as humans, meant to actually experience. And in doing their research, they learned that whatever this entity is was able to affect humans, able to influence them via the psychospace that everybody draws from inherently. Again, it's what makes us human. And whatever it's doing with this power, it has something completely disgusting planned for humanity. It's never actually revealed what that thing is, but it's deemed so horrific that the O5 Council held a vote, and they took it to the ethics committee, and everybody agreed that it was more ethical to exterminate the human race than it was to try to preserve the human race and deal with the entity. And so that's why things kicked off. Now, in order to deal with the entity, they had to come up with a cure, because the entity, obviously, as part of their cognition, will be able to kind of understand their thoughts and know that they will be planning to take it down. So it will, of course, try to stop them if they do that. So a cure was made, and it was given to everybody. But in doing so, it basically stripped away what made them human. And that's seen throughout the document. There are times where there's SCPs that will only affect humans, only kind of interact with humans, and they don't affect these personnel that have the cure. Pietro on his travels also notices that they don't have any kind of like light. There's no spark in their eyes. Everything that makes them human is gone. So in a way, their cure just kind of like disconnected them from this space that we have between us, which removes all their feelings and essentially just makes them husks with one purpose: to destroy the human race. Kind of grim. Is the other one over there? Okay. I hope there's no one on the railings. I'm going to get gunned down. Running. There's a moment in the story where Pietro visits Dr. Bright. And Dr. Bright is kind of like one specific researcher who ended up getting trapped inside of an amulet, SCP. And every time this amulet is put on another person, it basically transfers his consciousness onto them and wiping their existence, basically, which is kind of sad, but in a way. We love Dr. Bright, so what the hell. And he looked at the cure, and he said that it was a bunch of kind of like religious pictures, symbols. Didn't really make a lot of sense to him. And that makes sense because of his weird situation that he's in with the amulet. Cool. Makes it so that he is kind of immune to the cure. But it does mean that his consciousness is still being affected by the entity. So he is able to feel as all of us are able to feel. Whew. Start a meltdown of the nuclear reactor. Not really the smartest idea, but we are the GOC. Ooh. Don't die like this, not just something stupid like I was hands off keyboard. Okay, still going. And so the beauty of this is, the real beauty of the SCP-5000 tale is that all the way at the end, or I guess I'll start a bit earlier than that, Pietro himself, who, when you first read the document, you're like, okay, this guy's going on his epic quest to save humanity. Throughout the journey, there are points where he is influenced by the human entity within the psychospace, or the SCP entity within the psychospace. And especially, like, there's a scene where the radio comes on, and it keeps repeating the letters 579. 579 is what Pietro ends up going to visit to basically reset the whole situation. And once Pietro has got SCP-055, the entity that makes you forget, there are points where along his travels he's almost at the point of giving up, but at that point his memory is erased and he goes a little further each time. When he comes out of those situations, he mentions that something had given him a pep talk, which gives him like this new lease of life. But whatever it was, every single time, made him open the box and then erase all of the logs that he had stored about what this creature was and what it was doing. So he never truly understood the purpose that he had. And eventually, once he gets there, once he kind of resets the whole situation, it's not a good ending. It puts humanity back into ignorance, where we don't quite know of the entity that's possessing us. We don't know of these extra emotions that we have. So Pietro restoring humanity back to the way it was. Oh my god, I knew this would happen. I'm being so careful, by the way. I can't take any chances. Okay. There's more. Oh god, not you again. Why do you have to make it so hard like this? Give me some more zombies. In a solo situation, these units are actually the worst. Can't get any worse than this. So yeah, it's a bad ending. Humanity gets restored. We don't know of the horrors that awaits us for the future. Whatever it was to be so horrific that it's worth killing us now. We're back in that situation again. And who knows, maybe the SCP-5000 document is there. It's been published on the internet as a ploy. Oh, you're kidding me. So that we never truly know of the horrific fate that awaits us all. But we're getting through this somehow. If I can get to the end of this, I'm going to be well impressed. Oh, they're all in the office. Ugh. And then I mentioned in the second episode, there's another point where the stretched human being is seen along the horizon with the black blobs behind it. And I mentioned that could either be kind of like in affiliation with the entity or be someone that's trying to help humanity. And through this theory, what I now understand is that it is probably most likely to be a manifestation of the entity itself. Where? Oh, this gun feels good. Yes, but it's most likely that is itself a manifestation of the entity, because as the human race starts to get wiped out, there are things that indicate that this entity is becoming weaker, and one of the things that indicates that is that it has had to physically manifest into the real world because it can no longer maintain its presence in the psychospace. And that's why the SCP Foundation is attempting to kill it. Similarly, Pietro, as he goes along his journey, notices that each time he uses the box, it seems to be having a diminishing effect. It's no longer as potent as it was the first time that he used it. And one of the theories for that is that because, as the human race is slowly getting wiped out, the entity is having less of an impact on the human race, it's becoming weaker, it's having less of an influence, and the Foundation's efforts are seemingly paying off. It's really cool. It's such a fantastic entity. And again, with all of the bits in between where it talks about each entity, each SCP, and how it's kind of like leaves its mark on the world in causing the extermination, it's fantastic. And another thing is that 682, SCP-682, the big crocodile, has kind of got like a inherent hatred for humanity. It looks at us and thinks that we're disgusting creatures that need to be wiped out. Turns out, it was right all along. And there's like a specific part in there where one of either a scientist or a guard, I'm not sure which, is saying like, oh, to think I'd be agreeing with the stupid lizard after all this time. Shoot the cooling pipes at the base of the nuclear reactor. Is this the pipe? Oh. Oh. They're those. 2, 3, 4. There's one, there's one. There's one. You're gonna make me go over here? Oh, I didn't do that very tactically at all. Now I've got to run the long way to get back. Alright, got it all. Activate the nuclear reactor. If I'm going down, you're coming with me. The Psi-Z program ends here. I'm one man who will make a big difference. There. Here goes. Escape through the transport bay, through the tunnels. 10 minutes? There's no way I'm gonna make it out. Not if there's any MTF units. If it's just zombies, I might make it. Oh my god. I said just zombies, but that's... There's a limit! I'll thin them out a bit before they get up here, I guess. Come on, I don't have time! Get up here! Anyone else? Oh god. Here goes. Ow! Transport bay through the tunnels. Where did you go? Oh, god damn it. They don't even have to hit you, they just get close and you take damage. You guys done? Ah! Let me through. 6 minutes, don't look, don't even consider the time. Okay, let's get a move on. We don't have long at all. If I get this far, I need to get gunned down at the end. It's gonna be such a sad tale of the man who didn't quite make it out of his noble sacrifice mission. Oh god. The zoom in makes the sound louder. I thought there was people behind me. Okay, I don't have time to deal with the rest of them, we just gotta go. Just gotta step on it and hope that they get them all. Oh god! Oh god! Oh, this is not good at all. Run, please! Keep running! No! No! Keep running, keep running, keep running. Is there any medkits back there? Do you remember? I don't remember. We just gotta go forwards. I'm down to 1 hit. I'm already screwed up. I just have to assume that 5 minutes I can take my time. I don't know how far we have to go, but I can't go any faster. We gotta take this steady if we have any hopes of surviving. Oh god, there's so many. Oh, I'm out. Am I completely out? Like 2 bullets. 1, 2, 3. Just a pistol. Oh, balls. Oh, balls. Oh, balls. No, I don't like that. No! No! No, don't take the 1 hit. No! Guns as well. Ugh. No! Your team perished. It was too much to ask. That's so hard to play. Ah, and even then we never quite made it. Oh, so sad. Oh well. Whew. So that's all the time I have for this one, but thank you very much for watching. As you can see, this game is getting a ton of improvements that's just getting it better every single time. The new directions sounds amazing. I'd love to see some more SCPs. Some of the ones that they've mentioned sounds absolutely fantastic as well. There's a new hunt game mode coming that looks awesome. It's based on kind of like an end of the world scenario that isn't SCP-5000. And it's just going to be nuts. I think this game's going to keep growing, and I think it is going to be a strong contender for one of the best SCP games we have ever had by the end of it. I mean, we're on version 0.11 so far, so imagine that once it's got to version 1.0. It's going to be insane. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your new year, and I hope to see you all in the next time. So until then, goodbye!